Hi, I'm Mr. Ramiz Mistan here. A few days before, I just saw the news of Senate Economics Legislation Committee on the Sky News Australia channel as well. I heard the reporter saying that the government spending is more than the revenue coming in this years 2023-24 and 2025-26 as well. What I want to say, what I feel is that our Australian Albanese Labour government is really good and it's really working positively. But of course, there has to be a moral responsibility of all the state governments, all the different MPs, and all the parliamentary members in the state parliamentary departments as well. Because the government, the great honourable government, does any kind of spending, it only does for better future of Australian citizens. So there has to be more clearistic projects to be presented to the concerned department, where the government should be given a guaranteed best returns. So whatever the government spending is done, it's going to benefit the Australian government in return, and it's going to benefit in a guaranteed way. Because in these years the government spending is more than the revenue coming in, so on that part I'm not really blaming the concerned department of the government, but I believe that it's a moral responsibility of all the MPs and all the leaders as well. Apart from that, I believe I really appreciated the statement of Senator James Paterson, sir, the Great Honourable Senator Defence Minister. He said that we should increase defence spending as it's in our own national interest. And we should be using AI tools in Australia. That was a really good statement. I'm not going to explain that statement, but as per my view, that was really a good, wise statement done by Honorable Senator James Paterson sir as well. Apart from that, what I want to represent is that the PRRT, the Australian Tax on Profits from Oil and Gas Projects, introduced in 1988 to ensure citizens benefit from natural resources. That's basically the Petroleum Resources Rent Tax. So I believe that the Australian gas companies should work in such a way that the PRRT comes to the government more. The PRRT comes to the government more. So that is what I would like to suggest the Australian gas companies as well. Apart from that, I saw a speech of the Great Honourable Economist Sir, and he said a statement that the customer for Australia is taxing to Australia. They tax the Australian gas exports of Australia to fulfill the priorities of those of that particular country. I'm not criticizing any other country which is buying the Australian gas products from our Australian companies. It's really appreciating thing that the Australian gas products, Australian gas is bought by certain country from Australia. But I would like to represent my view that the Australian companies should definitely keep that country in a good hands of Australia always, but try to negotiate that they should pay less taxes when they do the export of Australian gas to that particular country or countries. So that's what I would like to represent my view. And apart from that, what I believe, what I think, that of course Albanese Labour government is really working nicely. It's not that Honourable Albanese Labour government is not working. They're really working wisely in a very uncertainty of globe nowadays. As because the Great Albanese government is making RSV vaccines free for over 75 years of 75s, and the vaccine used to cost $300, but from May 15 older Australians won't have to pay a cent. So that's what the Labour is delivering, more free health care to help Australians with the cost of living. To help Australians with a high cost of living. So that's again a good work by the Australian Albanese Labour government, and they are really working wisely in a very positive direction as well. But I would really urge the great departments, different state departments as well, that it is the moral duty, it's the moral reason, moral responsibility of all the MPs, all the senators, that they should really concentrate that our government spending is done more for better future of Australian citizens, and any kind of funding done outside of Australia should be controlled at a higher uh, percentage, I can say that. Of course, if any state government is doing funding outside of Australia where Australia is getting a good guaranteed profit, suppose if the funding is done in well developed nations with a more resilient economy, with the more powerful economies in the globe. So if such kind of funding is done in well developed nations, then it's really good, because that's going to benefit our Treasury Department as well. I'm not criticizing or I'm not interfering in any work of the Finance Department ministers or any kind of interference I'm not doing with the Treasury Department as well, because the great honorable Treasury ministers are really working nicely. But being an Australian citizen, man, of course, as a responsible MP in Australian Parliament in Canberra, I have my keen observation in educational sector as well. But I thought, let me represent my views, because I think I got that constitutional right to represent my views, which can benefit our great nation Australia, and it can make it more powerful and more prosperous for decades to come. And as I said, that the great honorable Australian companies should work in such a way, the Australian gas companies should work in such a way that PRRT comes more to the government department. Have a blessed day. Bye bye.